Hello, I'm Ryan Gosling.
And today I'll be doing a review on the LEGO Icon set 11389 Project Hail Mary. This set has 830 pieces and retails for $100 in the US. You get two minifigures included, that being Ryland, Grace, and Rocky. And this has been one of my most anticipated sets of the year, so I'm beyond excited to review it for you guys today. So without further ado, let's jump right on into this review. Before we take a look at the set itself, I wanted to show you some really cool details within the instruction booklet here. So you can see on the front we have the Project Hail Mary set, the Project Hail Mary logo, then of course the LEGO logo. And then flipping into the set here, you can see you have just like kind of the standard stuff there. But then on the next page, you get some really cool information about the set here. So you can see right there, you get the LEGO Rocky and Grace, and then a little read up there, which you can feel free to pause and read. You can see some stars, which leads into this really cool picture here of the Hail Mary. I'm not sure if this is concept art or an actual like screenshot from the movie. My guess would be concept art, but either way, it looks very cool. You can just see how intricate it is and just all the different parts there. It's just a really cool picture. And then the next page here, you get another read up about the set, which you can feel free to pause and read. You can see the Hail Mary right there, some more stars, and then an actual picture of the Hail Mary there, the actual Lego set of the Hail Mary, which looks very cool as well. You see more stars, and that leads you into the build of the set, which is obviously very, very cool. And you can see right there, there's actually a little Ryland Grace that runs along the page, and that obviously goes on until you reach the end of the set. But that's also cool they included that. But on the back of the instruction booklet too, there's actually the Project Hail Mary logo, which is a really cool thing. I always love when they put Easter eggs at the back, so that's also cool to get. But yeah, it's just very cool. I wasn't expecting that in this instruction booklet here, so it's cool you get like a little read up and just different little like bits and pieces. So I like that a lot. I just wanted to show you guys. The first minifigure we'll be taking a look at here is Ryland Grace, aka Ryan Gosling, aka literally me.
You're literally me.
It's really cool to get a minifigure of me for the first time ever, but all jokes aside, this is the first ever minifigure of Ryan Gosling, so it is cool to get that. I think it does resemble him pretty well here. We'll start with the helmet though, which is not a brand new mold for the character. This like mold has been used before in like other spacesuits, but I believe it is the first time we're getting it in red. And you can also see there's like some gunmetal gray in the back, and it is dual molded, so it's a really good piece. And obviously you have the visor too, which you can't like lift up, but you could take off the visor if you wanted to, and it obviously looks really great on the minifigure as well. Also included though, if you don't want the helmet, is a really nice hairpiece, so that's cool, you get that as well. You can see the face print does resemble Ryan Gosling quite well. I wouldn't say it's like one-to-one. We've definitely seen other face prints that I think resemble actors better, but this is still a great face print here. It looks just like me. You can see flipping the head around, you get a face print with glasses as well, which is also accurate to the movie, so it's nice to give you an option between the looks, so that's really cool. And to give you what a look of what it would look like with the glasses and the helmet, you can see it also looks pretty cool there. And then you can see that you get a backpack piece here, which I believe was introduced on the Sith Troopers from Star Wars, so it's cool that's kind of being used here as well. You can see there's a clip piece on that backpack as well as a wrench, which I'm not sure how accurate that actually is to the movie, but it's kind of just like a Lego version of it. Obviously you can see the wrench there, and you could obviously put that in his hand and make it another accessory if you wanted to. But removing this backpack piece for just a second here, I'll give you a look at the back torso printing, which looks very nice there. Lots of nice just little details and just bits of like the suit, so it's cool to see that. And the front of the torso is also very detailed here. Just putting the head back on real quick, you can see it looks very nice there. Just all the different like bits and pieces there, just all the intricate little parts and buttons and whatnot, so it's really cool here. I don't think it's like 100% accurate. I think there's like some letters on the front of the suit there, like in the movie, that aren't here, but either way, I think it still looks really great, and for the most part, I think it's super, super accurate. Then, of course, you have the leg printing as well. There were kind of the straps going down, as well as some really great, like, toe printing there as well. His accessories, other than the wrench on the back, is this tape measure, which is a printed tape measure on this tile here, which looks great. And you do get two of those, like an extra one included in the set, so that's really good and cool that they included that. And the tape measure is kind of crucial to when he first meets Rocky. I'm not quite sure if it will be that way in the movie, but at least in the book, when he first meets Rocky, he tries to like get him to like read the tape measure, and obviously that's how he finds out you can only hear. And I won't really spoil anything else, but that is pretty crucial, and the fact that's included here makes me think it will probably be a scene in the movie as well. I'm not entirely sure what this accessory is supposed to be on his other hand. It's like some sort of scanner, but I really don't know. I can't remember anything that was like this in the book, and obviously I haven't seen the movie yet, so I'm not entirely sure, but it does look cool, and you can obviously hold it like that. And there's a translucent piece in the front there. So overall, I think the first ever minifigure of me is very, very cool. Looks just like me, but all jokes aside, I think this minifigure is great. I think it resembles not only Ryan Gosling really well, but also Ryland Grace. So I think LEGO did a phenomenal job with this figure, and it's really, really cool to finally see Ryan Gosling get a minifigure. Next up is Rocky, and I don't know if you can necessarily consider this a minifigure, but he's still adorable, even though I do think a mold probably would have worked better for Rocky. I don't mind the spirit built version at all, and you can see here that he has an amazing like print at the top of him here, where you have like different colors here, like some sand green, as well as different patterns of rocks. And it just looks really great. I think it really completes the look of Rocky. Then of course you have this kind of like sand green piece in the middle, and I'm not sure if that's supposed to be one of his shirts or if that's supposed to be part of like the kind of like rock color. As you can see, there's some sand green on the top, so I'm not quite sure if it's supposed to be like a continuation of his body or a shirt, but either way, you get that piece there, and that's where the arm's attached to, as you can see. And the arms are like different pieces, like some of them are the same, like these two here, as well as these two here, but they're just facing different directions. But you also get this mech finger, which is kind of interesting. I'm not quite sure why all the different like arms are different pieces, but either way, I still think it looks pretty good. Then, of course, you have this crown piece on the bottom here that kind of completes the shape of his body. And then I guess this would technically be his mouth. If you know, you know. But either way, I think Rocky does look really great. But taking a look at his accessories now, you can see that we get this printed title piece here. And if you don't know what this is basically a scanner. So Rocky can actually like basically see, because he can only really hear. So he has to like be able to like kind of like hear around like the texture of it. So this basically scans anything in front of him and makes it like a texture with this thing here. So it's kind of like a hologram, so then you can kind of hear around it and then basically know what's going on like a screen that you obviously wouldn't be able to see. So it's really cool that they included that as an accessory. It's obviously something from the book, and I'm assuming since it's here, it's probably going to be in the movie. So overall, I think that's also really great to see, and it's this really great print, and you also get another one of those included, just like the tape measure print with Grace. So overall, I think Rocky looks phenomenal here. I love the build for him. I think the print on top looks amazing, and again, even though I think a mold would have been better, I still think it looks really great, and I'm really happy with Rocky here. Overall, I don't think you could ask for a better minifigure selection here. I think it's literally perfect. You get the two main characters of the movie. Obviously, there are other characters in the movie, but really none of them is like crucial to the plot as Rocky and Grace, and I really don't know if anyone would want any other characters other than Rocky and Grace, so I'm very, very happy with these two. Obviously, I think Rocky would have looked better as its own mold, but either way, he still looks great, and I love the print on his head, and the Ryan and Grace figure is perfect. It's so cool to finally get Ryan Gosling as a minifigure, aka literally me. But all jokes aside, I'm very happy with this minifigure selection. I really have no complaints. Also included is this amazing display stand for Rocky and Grace. As you can see here, on one side you have the two studs for Grace to stand on the other side you have this single stud for Rocky to sit on there. So that looks really cool, and you can see there's like some orange pieces underneath those grill pieces. And of course in the middle you have the amazing print for the Xenonite wall. I'll just remove the figures, give you a better look at that. As you can see, it looks incredible. There's so many nice details, including a little clear spot for Grace to look through. So I love this piece so much, and it is printed, and it just looks absolutely incredible. And it's also on a hinge, so you can move it back and forth. Obviously, it probably needs to be straight up, but when you're like putting it behind the Hail Mary, which is like a spot where you can store it, you probably want to lean it back a little bit so it can fit in there. So I think that's why they did that. But either way, I think it looks incredible with the minifigures, and this is such a cool way to display the figures, but maybe beside the Hail Mary, just on its own even. But there is also another option with these different little pieces, because they can detach, so you can have different pieces connected to the actual display of the set, which I'll show you right now. And here's what the minifigure stands look like attached to the base of the Hail Mary here. As you can see, I think it looks really great, and this is probably how I'll display my minifigs, just because if you remove these, you can see there's some great clips poking out. I just don't love the look of that, and obviously I want to display the Hail Mary as well, not just the minifigs, but it is cool. You also get the Xenonite wall, which is actually back here, and you can see you get a little spot for it, so it's also really cool that you can keep it there and you don't have the possibility of like losing it somewhere. So I think that's really cool they also do that. But I definitely understand why they also give you the option of the Xenonite wall, because maybe you don't have room for the Hail Mary on your desk or something, you just want to display the minifigs. It's just really cool, and it wasn't necessary, but it's awesome they included it, and you get a really cool print with that option. So I love that a lot. But yeah, ultimately I think I'll probably end up displaying my minifigs just like this, but I think both options are great, and it's really cool that you get the option to have multiple display possibilities with the minifigures. So I really appreciate that a lot. But now we'll move on to the main build of the set, and we'll start by removing these little pieces here just to give us better access to the stand. You can see at the front here, you get this amazing display plaque here, which is just attached by studs. And on it, you get the Hail Mary right there. It says Project Hail Mary, and just lots of nice little details on that. And then, of course, it says the Hail Mary, and of course, just lots of different information about the mission here. So I think that's just really cool. It's a phenomenal piece here. It just looks incredible, and I'm so glad it's printed too. It's really cool to get, and that obviously just sits in the front of the set there. And then there's lots of studs right there, and of course, you have the lever, which actually spins the set, but we'll wait to get into that when I show you the actual Hail Mary, and then we'll get into the play features. But you can see it just sits there in the front. You get the little red piece right there, and then flipping it around, you can see there's just more studs that kind of run along it. And as you can see, it's pretty tiled off as well. And you get that on both sides. No prints on these or anything. Then, of course, you get a better look at the back of how like the whole mechanism works with the Technic here. And obviously how it connects to like the top. But yeah, there's not a whole lot going on in the back. Like obviously it is kind of cool to watch all the mechanisms go, which I will show you later when we get into the play feature. But yeah, it's not like visually interesting, but it does look nice though, and it holds up the set very well. It's not going to fall over anything. The Technic is very intricate in the set. It's probably the most Technic based set I've ever built, and it's very impressive. So yeah, not a whole lot going on other than this amazing little display plaque here and the lever. Everything else is kind of boring, but it does look really cool. And I just really love the shape of it as well. It's very unique too, especially when you add the display stands here and it kind of like goes out. So I just love the shape of it, as you can see there. And then you can see you kind of have these like minifigure stands that I can really use on CMFs, but they're being used here. Kind of just decorate the wall, kind of like smooth it out a little bit. And that also looks really cool. So I just love the display stand here. I love how sturdy it is. And I just love how clean it looks too. It's very smooth and also like just kind of tiled off in some places. And obviously when you add these, it also looks amazing there. And then of course at the back here, I guess I'll show you what the little spot there looks like where you put these unite wall. You can see there's some studs there, but it does kind of just sit because of these clip pieces. Kind of just like sits like above that. It doesn't actually connect to the studs, but it is nice to get that little spot there. So yeah, overall I love the main display base of the set. I think it looks phenomenal. I love the shape. I love how clean it is. I love how the display stands connect, and of course I love this little display plaque here as well. So overall, really like the bottom of the set. But I'll move on to the kind of higher levels of the set. I'll show you more of the Technic there, as well as the actual Hail Mary. Moving on now to the top half of the display base. We'll look at the Hail Mary in a minute, but I want to show you just the display base now. It kind of continues up. So you have like those gray pieces there, and then obviously that bit there, and obviously connects to just all the different Technic parts here. And you can see it's very sturdy. I could hold it upside down, like sideways. It's not going to fall off at all. It's very, very sturdy on there. Obviously it wiggles a little bit, but it's not going to break off unless you like threw it maybe. But just holding like this, moving it around, it's not going to break off. It's very, very sturdy. A lot of Technic parts. It's a very, very strong build. And also you can see all the different parts that obviously spin it. Just all the different circle pieces and the Technic bits. It's very, very intricate, like I said, and just, yeah, very, very cool looking. And then you can see obviously the most striking part of the base is probably this green circle part here. And this is what the Hail Mary rotates around. It's not because Lego didn't want to recolor part or anything. This is green because it's supposed to be the planet Adrian, which is pretty crucial to the plot of Project Hail Mary. I won't go any further than that if you don't want to be spoiled, but this is actually meant to be a planet within the movie. So I think that's a really cool detail, and I love that a lot. Then obviously you have that circle piece in there, which is what it kind of just connected and spins around. Then of course you have this, which is actually what the ship is connected to. And obviously there's a lot of parts within this that send out the main like quarters here, and then obviously spin sideways and the whole ship spins. So you can see it's just very intricate, all the different pieces, and I'll show you what it looks like from the front spinning, from behind spinning, and even from like this angle, so you get like a really good idea of how that like the Technic actually works to make the set spin. But yeah, I just wanted to show you really what the Technic is, because it's a really big part of this build. Most of it actually is Technic, and you want to really make sure you get it right, because obviously if the Technic is not built right, the whole set feature isn't going to work. And it's a very intricate build, and I just kudos to the designers, because it's just very, very impressive. I think it's a great build, or a designer. I'm not quite sure if there was multiples, but yeah, I really, really love the whole look of the display base. Obviously, it's not the prettiest from the back. There's lots of different colors and stuff, but it's very impressive. And honestly, from the front, they just made it such a sleek design, just from like front to top. It's really incredible. But now we'll take a look at the actual Hail Mary. Now taking a look at the main build for the Hail Mary here, you can see it looks phenomenal. I really love the look of it. I think they just accomplished how it looks in the movie so well. And you can see it's much more akin to like a midi scale Star Wars set. That's obviously not play scale or like minifig scale. That'd be impossible. But I love the idea of it's like basically in scale with like the Star Wars ships. I think that's awesome. But you can see there's just so many cool details, like these little bits on the, I guess it'd be like fuel storage for the astrophage, and you can see it looks phenomenal there. Then everything you see here is a print. There's no stickers in the set at all, so I think that's awesome. But yeah, you get those details on both of those there, and then it's also on these ones here. Even though you can't see them, they are also printed on the back here, so I think that's awesome. And obviously you get 3 of those, and then of course you have this amazing print right there, which is kind of where it detaches, obviously, and you get like the main like area there, and it just detaches from that. So I think that's awesome too. You get a print there. Then of course there's a print on this little bit here, which we'll take a look at in a minute. But we'll go a little further back here, as you can see, to the engines, and you can see that obviously kind of lead like the storage for the fuel obviously leads into that, and that just looks really cool. And then of course you have the kind of big one there with the orange thrust, and then you can see that you have the 3 other gray ones there. And you can see that behind those, there's actually like pieces here. So you can see it's kind of gray, and there's also some gray on that one. But then this one right here is green. And I do have a theory about that because it's the exact same piece. There's no reason why this one needed to be green, but I'm going to issue a spoiler warning here. If you don't want to be spoiled at all, want no spoilers for the movie, maybe just skip ahead a few like seconds. But I believe this is actually supposed to be because of the Telmeba when it affects the engine, and obviously eats up all the astrophage. And I think that's a really cool detail if that is the case, because I don't know what else the reason for that would be. So my guess would be it's the Telmeba, especially since it's green too. And obviously the Telmeba comes from Adrian. I wouldn't be surprised if that was just referencing when the Telmeba just eats up all the astrophage within the engine. I think that's really cool if that is the case, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, I love how the kind of like engines go into this. You can see it's just a very sleek design with these sharp pieces here, and that's obviously the case for all three here. And then you can see that you get like some really nice gold pieces there with these like kind of pieces with the bars too. Just lots of cool design work. I just really love the look of. Then you also get these two pieces here, and there's nothing in the book that's really described like beyond the Hail Mary that looks like this as far as I remember. So I think this is a new inclusion for the movie. And to me, they kind of look like solar panels. I could be wrong about that. I haven't seen the movie yet. But let me know in the comments down below if you do know what these are, because to me they look like solar panels, and I don't really remember anything like this in the book, but they do look cool. I think it is kind of a cool thing to add. It kind of makes it look more like a plane almost, but yeah, I really like the look of those still. And as far as I can tell just from all the footage from the movie, they are pretty accurate. Although they are not actually double-sided. As you can see, it's just kind of like flat black here, and then obviously you have the kind of silver pieces on the other side. It makes sense because you're never going to be displaying it like that, but this is something to know. It's kind of it's not going to look perfect when you look at it from the other way. Although I'm not sure in the movie if maybe it is one-sided. That could be the case too. Again, I don't really know much about these, but I think they do look cool, and they're also just connected by some Technic pieces there. But now we'll move into like kind of the main quarters here, and I'm gonna spin the lever here just to give you a better look at that and rotate it out. And you can see that it's really well built. So obviously you have the front there, which would be like the controls. Then of course you kind of go through, and I believe that's supposed to be the laboratory. And this laboratory is actually a droid body, like an astromech droid body from Star Wars. So you can see that there's a print on that side, and then there's also a print on that side. And again, that's using a droid body. I think that's just such a cool detail. Then moving on from there, though, you can see it's just kind of more little areas here. I imagine this is probably supposed to be like the, I guess the sleeping area. I don't know what you'd call it, but this is kind of like where like he wakes up, and then obviously kind of continues on from there. But I think that's just really cool, and I love all the different details. And I'm pretty sure that there is more stuff being added to the quarters within the movie. Just from the footage I've seen, there's a lot of things that like aren't described in the book that are in the trailer. So I think that is probably going to be like different areas throughout it too. But it looks great, and I especially love the print for the laboratory there. I think it looks incredible. And then obviously it just spins back into the Hail Mary here, as you can see, and connects to that amazing. It doesn't actually connect, but like obviously it would be kind of moving into there, and then obviously it kind of sits on that. So that looks really cool. And overall, I think the build for the Hail Mary is just absolutely phenomenal. Really have no complaints. I think they nailed it so much. And it's just really surprising how it just looks so good while being attached to this whole thing here. Like, it's not its own thing, but it absolutely could be. You could detach it, and I think it looks just as good. So it's just very impressive, and I absolutely love the build for the Hail Mary. I think it looks amazing. But now I'll show you the play feature for the Hail Mary, which is obviously the coolest part of the set. So let's move on to that right now. The play feature on this set is legitimately one of the coolest play features I've ever seen on a Lego set. It's just so cool and intricate. The only thing I can really compare it to is like the Krill house from earlier this year, just in like terms of how complicated it is with like the Technic and just all the intricate parts. It's really all working together to create such a cool final product here. It's just so cool. And for those of you that don't know, the whole thing behind this play feature is basically within the movie and the book. The lab equipment needs gravity, and to create gravity, the ship kind of becomes a centrifuge and like spins obviously, and then creates gravity. And that's exactly what this play feature is recreating here. So you can see when you spin this lever here, it comes out like so. And then within the book, and I'm assuming within the movie, there's supposed to be like wires here that would connect it. It's not just like floating away and like magically staying together. Within the Lego set, they just don't include that. But within like the actual store, there's supposed to be like tether cables holding it in place while it spins. But obviously it comes out like that, and you can see it starts to spin, which it's so cool. And it's very simple. Obviously you just spin the lever like so, and you can see now it rotates around Adrian here, and it's just such a cool feature here. It looks so cool. And obviously you can just spin it back in like so if you want it to fly like normally and lose the gravity. And it's just so cool, so simple too. Like, it's not like some intricate thing where you have to switch parts around to make it look like this. It's basically just spin the lever whichever direction you want, and it will spin. And it's just so cool, obviously. And you can even spin it like that way and still have the ship spin if you wanted to, just like so. You could also do that if you wanted to. Obviously, it doesn't make a ton of sense, but it is cool that they do that. And obviously, that helps you also get it in place to wherever you want. It's so cool, and I love how, again, it like orbits around Adrian. It's just awesome. But now I'll show you what the play feature looks like from some other angles. Here's what it looks like from the bottom here, kind of giving you a look at these little Technic parts that are spinning when the actual middle part comes out there. And you also might notice that there's some rubbery tire pieces here, and that's actually to keep it in place so it doesn't slide around, like it gives it friction. So like the set obviously can still slide around, but there's a lot of resistance there. You can even hear like very hideous noises there as it just like slides across because it doesn't want to slide. It's like very firm in place. Like obviously you still have to put a hand on it. Like you're not gonna be able to spin it without putting some force to spin it. But it stays very in place. It's not gonna like move back. It's just kind of the side to side. That's the problem. But it's just very cool. They really thought of everything here. Even that, it works really well. So that's why those are there. Then of course, again, the Technic there's like a little spot for it, so it can obviously spin. And that leads us to the back and just all the different other parts of Technic. It's just very intricate. And it's just another part of the set that's very impressive. From the back of the set here, you can see all the different Technic parts at work here. And when you spin it, you can see just all the different things spinning, and it spins up top as well. And it comes out like so, and then it starts to spin. And you can just see all the parts moving there. And I'll show you what it looks like kind of right there as well. You can just see just all the intricate things spinning here, spinning that circle up top. It's just very, very cool and looks incredible and just works flawlessly as well. Just all the different pieces at work here. It's just very cool. And obviously when you want to spin it back in, you can see all the parts at the back spinning to bring back in the quarters, and obviously you continue to spin the ship. So it's very, very cool, and that's what it looks like from the back. And to give you an idea of how the actual quarters come out, you can see that when you spin it, the whole thing kind of moves, and the way it like actually turns is it hits these parts here. So when it hits that, it angles that way, and then you can see it actually straightens out when it hits that bit right there. So then it's kind of straight, and then it just spins like so, very simply. And then when you want to bring it back in, same thing, it just hits that part there and spins back into place, and then the little blue part right there will actually knock it straight, so it's actually lined up with the rest of the ship. So very, very simple, but it's just so cool how it does that. And you can just see all the different parts at play there, like that little blue part there. And it's just all the Technic works together so well. And again, you definitely want to make sure you build this right, because obviously if you don't, the play feature is not going to work. But when it is built right, it works incredible. So I'm just absolutely blown away by this. It looks so cool. And this set easily could have just been the Hail Mary on a display base with no minifigures or anything like a normal mini scale Star Wars set. But they're able to like incorporate such a cool play feature here. It's like the main part of the set, and it's just so impressive. And the minifigures included too, so great. And I cannot praise the set enough. I think it's phenomenal. All the different printed parts and just the actual look of the set is phenomenal, not to mention the play feature is phenomenal. Just it all works together so well. So I absolutely love the play feature. Again, it's one of the coolest I've ever seen. And I think it just works flawlessly every time. I have no complaints here. It's so cool. It's so fun to play around with. I can't tell you how many times I've actually spun this around. It's got to be in the hundreds at this point. It's just so, so cool. And I think it works flawlessly. And it's, again, one of the coolest play features I've ever seen. But that's going to do it for my review on the LEGO Icons Project Hail Mary. I said at the beginning of this review that this is one of my most anticipated sets of the year, and it did not disappoint. This set is genuinely flawless. I absolutely love it, and I think this could have been such a generic and plain set, just like a Star Wars midi-scale set with like a black stand and just the Hail Mary, but they put such a cool play feature into it that's just so intricate and so fun to play around with, and included 2 incredible minifigures and like just multiple options to display them with awesome printed pieces. So I love this set. I think it's absolutely flawless, and I would give it a 10 out of 10. I just cannot recommend it enough. Obviously, if you're not interested in the set or even interested in Project Hail Mary, you're not going to like the set all that much, even though it is still a very impressive model. But if you're not even into LEGO and just like Project Hail Mary, I think you're going to love this set so much. And if you're into LEGO and like Project Hail Mary, it's the best of both worlds. It's a perfect set, and I would even recommend it at its full $100 price tag. I think it's fully worth it, and you're not going to be disappointed with this one. I absolutely love it. It is one of my favorite sets of the year, if not my favorite set of the year so far. I absolutely love it. But let me know in the comments down below what you think of the set if you plan on picking it up. Let me know how excited you are for Project Hail Mary in the comments down below as well. And thank you so much for watching this review. I truly do appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it, and have an incredible day.